All right, this is take 2 of this week's session for my audio recording, and if it sounds a little different, it's because I am actually using my Blue Yeti. My Blue Yeti mic. That's exciting. Because we recently purchased a new laptop to replace the laptop I'm currently using. So basically this laptop is just an extra laptop, and I'm going to be using it mainly to record the audio for my speed drawing. So yeah, I recorded about 15 and a half minutes worth of audio earlier, but towards the end of that there was a guy driving up front. It sounded like he parked right up front of the house, and he had his music turned up super loud, and I tried to ignore it because I was thinking that he's just gonna drive past and it's gonna disappear in a few seconds. But no, it sounded like he stalled in the front, and it just kept getting louder and louder and louder. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna pause this because I'm pretty certain that it's actually picking up on this microphone. And sure enough, with the earbuds on, you can hear it in the background. It's really just distracting. So anyways, it's been like an hour since I recorded the last one, and I managed to clean the yard again up front because it's fall in the Northeast and there's always leaves up front. And with leaves comes a bunch of debris because people don't clean up after themselves. I live in Brooklyn. There's a lot of plastic bags, like just random trash, coffee cups, just flying about. It annoys me. I like to keep the front clean, and I actually spent some time yesterday cleaning up front. It looks much better. And it was time for me to walk the dog anyway. So, and plus my allergy for some reason started acting up too. So I don't know what it is. I'm gonna try to get through this recording without any kind of disruptions, but if there is, I'll probably edit it out. So anyway, I hope this audio is pretty clear and it sounds decent. And yeah, thanks for stopping by and checking out my latest video. I'm probably gonna edit this in a way where what you're watching on your screen right now is just me drawing, either working on a grid panel series that I've been posting on the Instagram, or the sketch card size drawings, because I've been kind of bouncing from those two projects depending on the mood. I actually started a sketch card size ink drawing last night, which I didn't really finish, but I'll get that done today. I'll probably spend a big chunk of today working on my drawings, which makes me very, very happy because I got a lot of my stuff done yesterday. The only other thing I need to do today, I think, is to help decorate the Christmas tree. I'm not feeling very festive as of late, but because it's been a lot of well, I don't want to be a downer, but last week was Thanksgiving. We had a death in the family, so I had to. There was a wake and a funeral and all of that stuff going on, and yeah, it wasn't the typical Thanksgiving day, to say the least. But that's over, and it just makes you really think about, life, and ensuring that you're doing everything that you want to be doing with your time while you're here. It's very easy to forget. I mean, I try to do the week in review stuff. Not that it's interesting for, I think I have two subscribers, or anybody else that decides to stop by and watch. But yeah, I do a week in review. I think it's mostly for me, just to kind of sum up my week. And day jobs are always going to be stressful. There's always going to be stress. It's just the way you cope with that and how to balance that with other things that are more meaningful. And I think at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for, because the day job is, corporate job, Monday to Friday. It's good. It certainly provides financially. but not so much in a creative and kind of a more spiritual level, I guess, without sounding so hokey. Um, I think a lot of artists go through this where you're working on a project, or you're working at a day job or an evening job or whatever you have, and what happens is you just kind of get stuck in the grind, and then you get frustrated because it doesn't feel like you're getting a whole lot done, or you're not moving forward with your art. But in all actuality, if you think about it, I mean, let's say if it feels like your day job's getting in the way, fine. If you take that out of the equation, other types of stressors will pop up. For example, the most obvious, income. Where are you going to get the steady source of income? Unless you already have it in place, then that's great. But if not, it's a hustle basically, and that puts an enormous amount of stress and strain, not only yourself but the people around you. So if you think about it that way, you're always going to have some sort of stress going on in your life. It's the way your mindset is. If you allow for it to take over everything and just consume everything you do, then you tend to lose yourself. And I was actually at that place like maybe like a week ago, last couple of weeks, where around Sunday, which is today, I tend to get stressed out and get worked up because I know that I've got a week of very, very busy day job work type things ahead of me. But for some reason, like this weekend, it feels different. I guess it's like everything. You go through it like one day and 1 week at a time. And some weeks are better than most. You're going to have, the ups and downs. But really, you have to step back sometimes and think about it. Get out of your head, basically. And think about it logically. Meaning, whatever it is you're doing, you need to plan out. If you're not happy with it, you need to decide the perfect scenario, the most perfect that you can have, I guess. What is your goal? You want to be at point B, but I'm at point A. Well, you can't do anything about point A because it is what it is. It's the reality right now. So, how do you use that to your advantage? And the way I can apply this in my own life is, okay, so basically I only have about evenings of Fridays and my entire Saturday and Sunday to dedicate towards putting work on my art, my drawing, my projects, and figuring out the whole business of it. Let's call it about 2.5 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday evenings. Ideally. But what happens is, you have life stuff going on. So you run errands, you go to the store, you do this. Last week, I think I went to go pick up my glasses and get an eye exam and all that stuff. So by the time you're done with that, that's a whole nother day that's gone. So it's very frustrating, but it's stuff that you need to do. So it's unavoidable. So instead of whining about it, the best way to cope, I think, is to be very aware and deliberate of how you spend your time that you do have. And in order to do that, first, I think you need to define where you're going. What is your immediate goal as far as your project goes? In my case, I have these 2 ink projects I'm trying to work on, and a third larger one. But realistically, I'm only able to work on the first 2 smaller scale ones because I'd rather not rush the larger scale one because it's a lot more detailed and it takes a lot more kind of planning and thought into it. But I see the end product in my head, and basically I want it to be of that quality. So if I just try to do it just for the sake of doing it, more than likely I'm not going to be happy with the end product. So realistically, I have those two smaller projects that enables me to draw and get stuff done real quick in the weekends without being too precious about it. It's definitely more doable than trying to tackle a larger project. So at this point, those two are my priority. And what happens is for the weekend, I really need to, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I need to have my day pretty much kind of sort of planned out. Where I need to do this, do this, do this, do this. These are what I need to do today. So this leaves me with this amount of time. And I found that I've actually wasted a lot of time, like, I don't know, getting frustrated about not having enough time. It's kind of like an evil cycle, but you have to like turn that off. So let's say I have like 3 hours to spare. Well, you know what? Instead of doing this and doing that and looking at the pile of laundry you have to do, it's like, all right, well, let me just sit in front of my desk and do this. Before you know it, you got 2 hours worth of footage, which is what I did last Sunday. I was looking over the footage I recorded with the webcam, and actually I have about 2.5 hours if I wanted to combine everything of drawing videos that I managed to record even last week. That was a crazy week last week. Insane. But I wanted to do something that was just for me. Otherwise, the whole week would have been just, not very inspiring at all. So you need to determine what it is you're working towards. Set a schedule that is very, very realistic, something actionable, nothing too lofty. Like, don't say stuff like, this weekend I'm going to finish 5 pages of this or that. And that's not, more than likely, the likelihood of that happening is very slim. So instead of doing that, just focus on a smaller project that enables you to keep pushing forward. It's very difficult actually for artists to have day jobs that are, luckily mine is sort of creative, but not in a sense where I'm drawing for a living. For somebody else, I don't think I really would want that anyway. I don't think I'd be happy drawing stuff for somebody else, because then I'd be drawing their ideas. Does that make sense? My cats are whining in the other room. Do you want to come in here? I don't think I want to be doing that anyway. If I'm going to draw, ideally, if I want to make a go of this, I just want to draw what I want to draw, and then see if everybody else is on board. I want to be in total creative control, because I've been in situations where I wasn't, and it's sure I was drawing, but it still wasn't. I wasn't happy. It was still a grind. I did that for like a year and a half, drawing all the time, like 16-hour days working from home, and it burnt me out. And I didn't actually work on any personal projects at that time. I just drew and drew and drew, and then slept, and then drew some more, and it wasn't enjoyable at all. So this day job is stressful, yes, but it allows for me to not think about art in a way where it's pure. When I get home or during the weekends, my art is mine. No one's telling me how to do it. No one's telling me when they want it by. It's all on me. So that's the beauty of it, and I want to keep it that way. So my job is actually in technology, internet. I'm an e-commerce professional, and I've been trying to think of ways to use that to my advantage. My cat is in the bed. I don't know if this microphone is picking up her snoring. She is snoring so loudly. I'm an e-commerce professional, and basically that involves everything, all operations, and for clients, the operations of running an online business, where you sell goods and services. Um, that's what I handle. And I've been doing this probably for other larger scale people for a couple of years now, but I've been doing it for a few years, at least 5, because I've always sold stuff online in an e-commerce platform at one capacity or another. So it's certainly interesting. It combines my love for analytical thoughts and processes with like technology. I love technology. I'm very good. I think my strength lies on bootstrapping projects, meaning keeping them low cost to begin with, especially for startup businesses. It's very important. The budget's not very big, so. Or I take that back. There are clients who can't afford a bigger budget, but they refuse to, and that's a whole nother problem. That could be a whole nother 2-hour video if I just talked about that. But anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of insights that I have that I can share and pass on to fellow artists and creatives at all aspects of e-commerce. Basically setting up a site, how to handle a list, how to create a list, a mailing list, that is. How maybe like digital marketing, promotions. What else? Just replenishment. The whole thing of just logistics of it. As well as the technology behind some of the apps or platforms that are available to artists. So I think I'm gonna start planning out my some of my videos to actually discuss how I can transfer that knowledge and apply it not just to my own art business, but also maybe to others. Because I'm just cumulative knowledge. If you've been doing something for like a decade, it's just stuff you take for granted. But then you start talking to people that have never done it, and then you realize, like, wait a second, I know a lot more than I give myself credit for. And I find myself in that interesting crossroads right now, where for some reason I think I'm keep landing these jobs because it's trying to show me, it's a way for me to learn what not to do, when it comes to my own e-commerce business. Because it's been a hell of a learning curve the last few years, depending on the platform you're using, and it's a continuous learning process, and I hope to actually be able to harness everything I know, and like I said, transfer that to the business of art. Because if you want to make a living as a independent artist, you have to sell your wares. Like it or not, you have to be a salesman. Like it or not, you're gonna have to be somewhat a well-rounded person in all aspects. You're wearing all the hats. Because you have to sell your stuff online or in person, but you wanna exploit all the available tools that's out there. That's part of being an artist these days. And not only is that something I'm very interested in exploring, but I'm also interested in helping people out with their questions. If it's something that I know something about, then sure. But I don't have anything planned out for this weekend's talk. I might jot down some notes for the next one and record it for later in the day after I finish my drawing session. Because what I'm going to do is edit this into my speed drawing footage. I might try to do some other kind of vlogging type of things, which is something I really want to do, but I actually tried vlogging like my a day in a life sort of thing, but my Monday to Fridays are crazy. There's just no time to record anything and go walk around during my lunchtime or whatever during on the way home to work to record anything of substance. So what I'm gonna just continue doing right now is just do speed drawings and share my works in progress, as well as possibly do some reviews, product reviews, or reviews of, or show you guys what I've been reading, graphic novels I'm picking up, books I've downloaded on my phone that I read on the subway, that sort of thing. That's actually that's relevant to the art channel that I have. I'm gonna start doing that, I think. Yeah. In addition, like I mentioned, I think I'm gonna want to discuss how my knowledge in e-commerce in general is transferable to being a successful artist in this technology age we live in. Because that would make an interesting subject to talk about. Yeah, right now I'm recording this on the laptop, and I have this very basic audio recorder. To the left side is my screen, and it's split. The screen is split in halves, and the right side I'm looking at my current website, which is zero2rockstar.com. So I haven't really altered it. The last update on this was, I'm looking at it. The homepage, it says just keep drawing. The date is January 9, 2016. And it's time for me to do an overhaul of the site, but I don't want to just do it just to do something to it. I want to do it where it makes sense. Which isn't, I want to work on the site and make it be in line with my goals, rather than to just, I guess I need to update the site. I haven't posted in forever. It's everything I do, I try to be more deliberate with it, because it's my time. If I'm going to work on a site, it's time I'm taking away from me drawing. So it needs to be clear what I'm trying to get done. So I guess that's the whole point of this whole talk anyway. I've been talking for 22 minutes according to this recording, so I'm not sure. I haven't edited my video yet, so I'm probably going to keep talking until about 30 minutes, and hopefully that's enough to put on top of the video. So yeah, just basically trying to stay balanced when you have a day job and you have an art project that you do on the weekends. That's the tricky part, but I'm working through it. So I'd be interested to hear what other people do. Do you tend to stick to a schedule? Do you have a schedule, or you kind of just do it when you feel like it? Because right now I try to do everything on schedule. Rough schedule, but it's still scheduled nonetheless. Like right now, I'm recording this, and then I'm going to transfer it to my desktop, and I'm going to edit the video, and then I'm going to draw some more and record that, and that'll go in the next video. And after that, I'm going to plan out the topic for the next audio recording. That way I have a more focused work process. Because I think if you give yourself a smaller time frame, you'll get done. You'll get done faster. Some people work better with deadlines, and some people don't. I think most people do. If you give them like an hour, you have an hour to do this. Most people will get that particular task done in an hour. If you give people the same task in 8 hours, how much of those 8 hours would they actually use to get that task done versus the time they spend wasting all that extra time. you know? Um, yeah, so I guess a way for me to balance everything is have a clear direction, have some sort of plan, jot things down, make a list. I have my field notes in front of me and another small notebook. Field notes is specifically for my project notes, and this smaller, cheap notebook. It's basically I'm gonna use that for planning my videos. So one's for videos, and one is for my art projects, and that's how I'll document this and keep myself organized and keep track of what I'm getting done. That's what works for me. I really do suggest if you're not a list maker, take it up. You'll get so much more done if you have everything outlined in front of you, and you just start checking it off. And what happens is, if you don't get that done in that day, roll it to the next day, and make that a priority. It's basically the kind of a rehashed bullet journal. I tried bullet journaling. It was too much work. I guess it's the particular way of bullet journaling that I researched. It was just way too involved. I'm like, I need to simplify this. And so that's basically what I've been doing. Make a task list for that day. Get as much of it done as possible. Just prioritize it. You can even divide it by home, work, personal. Anything you don't get done, bump into the next day. The most productive I have been is when I use that kind of method, because it shows me at a glance if I actually got stuff done or if I've been slacking. So I hope you guys are doing well this week. I hope you guys are working on your art projects. I need to start adding people, subscribing to people on my feed, and start just kind of communicating with other artists. I haven't been able to do that. I'm just trying to be good with posting vids at a regular rate, as well as posting photos of my work on Instagram. And it's the holidays, so there's a lot of stuff going on too. But we'll see how this whole new process of me recording audio on a laptop goes. Because the setup for this actually took a little longer. That's my first time setting it up on this laptop, so I had to tweak the settings to get the optimum result for now. So it took maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes. But and I actually have a pop filter that goes in this somewhere under my desk. Just didn't want to bother looking for it. I don't think I need it anyway, so I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about, which is, it feels like it's all over the place. I didn't have a focused topic. Talked a little bit about my week and how I can transfer my job skills towards building an art business and sharing that knowledge with others, as well as, just giving you guys tips on how I get stuff done around here as far as art projects go. So if you guys have any cool methods where, how you plan your week, feel free to share. I'd be interested to see if it's something I can utilize for my own processes, my own operations. Yeah. So thanks for listening to this video and watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. But if you don't want to, that's fine as well, because if you don't enjoy the stuff I'm producing, there's no sense for you to subscribe because you're not going to watch it. I'd rather have people that like to do this thing, the same stuff I do, or people are interested in what I'm talking about right now. Subscribe to it, because then they'll be the ones that'll get more out of it. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. So, again, thanks for watching this video. Feel free to add me to your social media circles. Be kind to one another, and just keep drawing. See you in the next one.